Hello everyone, welcome to my video. This week I'll be discussing informed consent. So what is informed consent? Well, I don't need a book or a peer-reviewed journal article to define it for me and tell me what it is. It's simply what it says it is. It's giving consent after being informed. Why is informed consent so important? It's important because the ACA Code of Ethics says so, right? Code A.2.A outlines the client's right to choose whether to enter into or remain in counseling based on information about the counseling process and the counselor. Furthermore, the informed consent must be reviewed both verbally and in writing to the client by the counselor. It's also important because many times clients seek out counseling services because some part of their life is out of control. So by giving them the informed consent and allowing them to choose services in which direction the services are going to go, you're actually giving that control back to the client, which is so important. Kress et al. Says, a best practice approach to informed consent and diagnosis may be to openly discuss the facts that are likely to impact clients and offer assistance and information as they weigh their choices. Article 24 of the North Carolina Licensed Professional Counselor Act, Section 90-343, is about disclosure. And it says a counselor cannot charge a client for professional counseling services unless prior to the performance of those services, the client is furnished with a copy of a professional disclosure statement. That includes the professional counselor credentials, the services offered, the fee schedule, and other provisions required by the board. Triangle Wellness Counseling has a well thought out and easy to read informed consent. When I was looking through the internet and finding the ones for North Carolina, this one, I read a lot of them, and this one really caught my attention. And as soon as I started reading it, I just knew I could just discard all the other ones. In the professional disclosure statement, Stephen Clemens, who is the counselor, discusses his qualifications, his counseling experience, nature of counseling, use of diagnosis, counseling relationship, counseling format, effects of counseling, written consent required to release information, client rights, appointments and cancellations, client emergencies, crisis numbers, how to report a complaint to the board, fees, rates of service, when to pay and payment forms accepted, insurance accepted, which he had plenty, referrals, confidentiality, limits of confidentiality, consultation, access to medical records, conditions of ongoing counseling, consent to treatment, and finally, the client's signature. It is spelled out all along the way, and if you can't find it in that initial disclosure statement where everything's listed, he also has subtabs that you can click on, and it'll tell you each one individually. So the client has many opportunities and ease of use to be able to find the information that they need. It's a very informative informed consent. When talking about rates of service, he even discloses a sliding scale so that if the client has financial constraints, he'll work with them so they can receive services at a discounted rate. He also accepts multiple insurances, which a lot of practices do not, at least not in my area. With the detailed disclosure statement and sliding fee scale, it tells me that this counselor truly has the best intentions for his clients. He even includes a client bill of rights. Seriously, it's got like 15 bulleted points of the client bill of rights, which is phenomenal. Again, if you missed your rights within the informed consent statement and all of that, you can actually see them listed one by one on the client bill of rights. It's a really inventive way of doing it, and I actually like that. You could almost feel the empathy and compassion coming from his disclosure statement. And isn't that what clients are looking for? Empathy and compassion? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.